Since Suicide Squad teased the new series, Peacemaker, fans have been waiting for the show to drop on HBO Max. Now, it has finally started to drop, and fans have a lot of thoughts about the new series. Today, we're going to check out everything that fans think about the new show and why you should or shouldn't watch it. Get ready for all the mind-blowing details. Let's go. Peacemaker in Suicide Squad days. Fans of Suicide Squad had a lot of mixed feelings about this show getting made in the first place. It's not like Peacemaker was a favorite character in the movies. In fact, after he killed one of our real favorite characters, fans kind of didn't like him. And he is such a weird person that honestly, he is easy not to like. This is not your normal superhero that everyone's rooting for. Still, James Gunn saw a lot of potential in the character, and he decided that he was going to give him a chance and make an 8-part series about him, and it works. Somehow, fans are falling in love with this show. It sounds weird, but it is what it is, and we will find out why today. Peacemaker is ridiculous. The character is ridiculous, and while this sounds like a criticism, somehow it turns out not to be. We start loving just how over the top and completely oblivious this guy is. I mean, this is this so-called hero that is so dedicated to some vague notion of peace that he's willing to kill pretty much any man, woman, or child that gets in his way while he's trying to achieve it. Not that I'm entirely sure that he even knows what peace looks like or how he aims to make it happen. He is so serious and takes himself so seriously, it really becomes comedy gold. This is a guy that not even James Gunn describes as the world's biggest douchebag. At first, I and many other fans, it seems, were worried that the joke would become old and just get annoying eventually, but the writing is really great, and almost miraculously, they make this character work and you start to like him. I saw some fans comparing him to Michael Scott from The Office. He is a bit of an idiot, but just like with Michael, he has these really awesome moments of goodness and likability that you can't help but start to care about the character. John Cena is really good. Let's face it, John Cena has been in a lot of movies and shows, but none of them were exactly brilliant pieces of cinema. Some were cute and fun to watch, but there's been question about just how much acting these parts actually require. But in Peacemaker, John Cena answers those questions for good. He is really brilliant in the part, and his comedic timing is on point. The show would not have been close to what it is if it wasn't for Cena's knowledge of the character and his amazing performance. He is completely cementing himself as a real comedic actor, thanks to this show, instead of the wrestler who sometimes acts as we thought of him in the past. It is fun to watch what he does with this character, and with all the reviews I've read, most fans agree that Cena is one of the best parts of this entire series. The side characters are also really cool too. Normally, when the show is based on one character, they focus almost solely on that one character, and maybe one or two others that are closest to him. The rest they water down, and they don't even really give them all much of a backstory. But so far, it looks like they are making sure that all the characters on the show are pretty great. The actors too. Danielle Brooks gives an impressive performance as Leota Adebayo, who is sympathetic and reluctant to get involved in Black Ops, but is still recruited. Jennifer Holland is always a little bit angry as Harcourt, and Freddie Stroma is great in his role as a wannabe hero called Vigilante. Really, the entire cast is pretty impressive and really funny, and they all have a lot of on-screen chemistry between them. I love the moments where they all just chill out together, and you can really get to know the characters as individuals. It is a group of oddballs that really work as a team. First reactions. Some people were worried when the show was first announced. Not only is this a character that was unliked by many fans, but at the same time, DC does not have the best track record when it comes to shows and movies. They've messed up a lot of our favorite characters and created shows that don't even resemble the characters that we loved in the comics. But this time is a pleasant surprise. The first few episodes have been an incredible hit. The first reactions might have been that fans thought not again, but after they watched the show, they were really pleasantly surprised. The series is not as big a scale as many DC movies, but it just really works. It has really a lot of people, and they say that the series is really entertaining. Some fans have compared the series and humor to The Boys, and if you love it, then it is a really great show to watch next. Have you watched Peacemaker yet? What did you think? Let me know in the comments section. We would love to hear from you. Next up, we'll check out what can can make up your mind if you are still undecided, what it lacks, and so much more. Let's check it all out. If you are still undecided to watch or not, check out the opening credits. Everything that you need to know about the series is there in the opening credits. They have really become iconic overnight, and it shows you just exactly what you're going to get yourself into when you start to watch. It is funny, but admittedly, you could easily wonder if you would start to get sick of the credits at the start of the episodes, and you kind of do, sort of, but it also sticks in your head and you start to look forward to it eventually. This seems to be a bit of a theme in the series. It is so over the top that you would think that it should all get to over the top eventually and that it should get annoying, but they pull it back just enough or push it out far enough that it never gets to that point when you do get sick of it. I'm not entirely sure how they do it or whether or not it will be lasting throughout the series, but the charm of this series is strong enough to make it something special. Written by James Gunn. One of the reasons that the series works has to be the fact that James Gunn is the writer and showrunner of Peacemaker. He's done some really great things with comic book characters. He has been great as the writer of Suicide Squad and as the writer for the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Is this a show that you can watch with the family? Nope, not even a little bit. This series is not for kids, even if it was based on comics. It was not based on a comic book that was child-friendly. The show is jam-packed with sexual innuendo and sexual jokes. They aren't shy to show sex and nudity on screen either. It is definitely not a show for the whole family, but it is one that adults can watch on their own to unwind and relax. It is funny enough to be really entertaining for adults only. It doesn't have a lot of special effects. The show might follow up on Suicide Squad that is jam-packed full of special effects and expensive movie magic, but it looks like the budget for the series was quite a bit smaller than the movies. After some of the series that came from Marvel adaptations, we've grown to expect the series to be just as big budget movie quality as the films are, but they seem to have gone in another direction this time. I'm not sure if they didn't have the budget or if it was a creative choice they made to keep the series relatively low-key, but however it came about, it was a good choice. Peacemaker does not feel like the type of series that needs massive special effects and big action sequences. The ones the actors create themselves with live action sequences are more than enough to keep us satisfied. It can at times feel like they're being deliberately inelegant and almost clumsy, like a bunch of street fighters fighting and not some well-choreographed movie moment. In this series, it really works out well, and I don't think a bigger budget with more effects would have been as impactful and right as what they have done so far. The first season of the series is still being released piece by piece, and hopefully the next few episodes are just as strong as the first few were. We can't wait to watch the last episodes. Are you just as excited? Do you think they'll make a second season? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.